Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. We are continuing our shiurim on the topic of mummer, the status of a mummer. Yiddishkeit, somebody who becomes an apostate Jew, chas v'shalom, converts to another religion. Mchal Shabbos, Frahesia, also has the status of a mummer, an Obed Avodah Zarah. And I'd like to dedicate this shir, this chus refuas, to Aryeh ben Chedva, who is a little boy who fell off a porch on Shabbos and hurt himself in the hospital. Manu Itzlan lo aleinu. Hashem should give him a refuah b'sel shachol Yisrael. And in the previous shiurim, we saw a big yisod, and that is that there are two aspects to every Jew. Number one, he is a Shem Yisrael. And number two, he is a Ben Bris. And what we said was that somebody who's a mummer loses his status as Ben Bris, but always remains a Jew. Always has a Shem Yisrael. So any halacha pertaining to his Yisraeliyut, he will retain even after becoming a mummer. And any halacha pertaining to being a Ben Bris, he loses when he becomes a mummer. And this chalukah, this avchana between Yisrael and a Ben Bris, we see also in the Gemara in Sanhedrin, Mem Dalet. The Gemara in Sanhedrin Mem Dalet says that Yisrael, afal pi shechata Yisrael, even though he sins, he remains a Yisrael. Am Rabbi Abba, hainu damri inshi, asa dekoi beinei chilfi, asa shmei v'asa karile. You have an asi, you have a hadas, a myrtle branch, I think they call it in Spanish. That's among thorns. It's called a hadas. Its name is hadas, and it's called a hadas. So it's hard to understand this tzushtel, this comparison to an hadas, which is very nice, which is pleasant, and it's among the thorns, which are not. So it's trying to say, also to the Jew is an asa that's among the chilfi. He's a hadas that's among all the thorns. How do you compare that to a Yisrael shechata? Yisrael shechata, he's the thorn, and he's among the hadasim. So the Gemara says, fakert, that this Jew is sinful as the hadas, and he's among the thorns, but it's not true. He's the thorn, and he's amongst the hadasim. And what do we need a mashal for? What's this mashal teaching us? So, Rav Man, we're basing ourselves on his Torah and the Sefer Tehillah, David and Yeridei and Siman Lamed Aleph. We're now in Os Hey. So he explains as follows: that Aval Pisha Yisrael, in other words, he's still Shaykh to Am Yisrael, but he's no longer in the bris. So his Yisraelius, his Yiddishkeit, is among the thorns, because he's not a Ben Bris. He's like a split personality. He's partly Yisrael, partly not Ben Bris. So the Hadas, which is his Yisraelius, is Beinei Chilfi, is among the thorns, is among his not being a Ben Bris. So therefore, there would be place to say that even though his mumras is only a Pegia Babris and not an Yisraelius, but the fact that his Yisraelius is next to a non-Ben Bris, it all resides in the same person, that's going to change his mahus. A name is a mahus. A name is an essence. So he's not a Ben Bris, that's it. Memeli, he's not a Yisrael. So that's why we bring the mashal from this Hadass. That the fact that it's among the thorns doesn't change its name. Doesn't change its essence. Asa Shmei V'asa Karile. It's still Hadass, you still call it Hadass. Zelbazach with a mummer. That even though he's a mummer, he's still a Yisrael b'mahuso. And he doesn't lose this essence of being a Yisrael. And this appears in to be what the Rosh is saying. In the Tshuvas in Klal Yud Zayin, brought in the Torah and Choshen Mishpat and Siman Reish Pei Gimel, the Gabe Yerushas Mummer, that the Rosh brings in the name of Rav Meshulam ben Rabbeinu Kolonimus, that a mummer doesn't yarshin his father, he doesn't inherit his father. Why? Because a mummer lo ekariya zare v'lo yoris leila avua. He's not called his seed, and he doesn't inherit his father. K'tichsiv, I'm reading his lashon, lios lachem le'elohim u'lizaracha acharecha, to be for you a God and to your seed after you. Ksiv, v'nasati l'chol zaracha acharecha seretz megurecha, and I give you and to your seed after you the land of your in which you live, the land of your dwelling. Uksiv, v'yomu kras shemes Avram brislaim or l'zarachon osati. So we have all these lashonos of getting an inheritance if you're the zera. Misha zaro miyuchas acharav, yatsa muchlav shein zaro miyuchas acharav. Somebody who has a seed. That's motzi, that excludes somebody whose zera is not miyuchas after him. Ad kan divrei Arush. So the Rush writes that it's only an asmachta, because we darshan in this pasuk legabe kahuna. In another context, we have another drasha. Ayin sham, but the Avnei Miluim and Kufnan Zayin bring us shitas that it's a drasha gemura min Torah, that he's not considered miyuchas acharav b'mumar. Why not? He's a Yisrael Gamur. If he's not a Yisrael, then he's not Yarshanim because he's not Jewish. But, right, but if the Goy Yarshin is his father, but this person is a Goy doesn't Yarshin a Jew. His Jewish father, it's not his father. So it's his father. So how can you say he's not Miyuchas Acharav? Not only that, this Rabbeinu Meshulam, he started and he said he's not called his zera. Lo ikariya zare. And then Erfir Dois, he concludes she'ein zaro miyuchas acharav. First, he's not his seed, and then he says he's not miyuchas. Mashra that he is his zera. He's just not miyuchas to him. He's not related to him. So which one is it? So based on what we explained in previous shurim, we can say as follows. In the Sefer Til David of Agona Gadol or David Tzakman and Eben Ezer, in Siman Beis, Sifkat Zayin, he explains there beautifully that the Hagdara of Zaro, as opposed to the Hagdara, the definition of Bino, is that in the Hagdara, the definition of Bino, this definition relates to the Ben, saying that he's the son of Ploni. Zaro relates to the father, saying that this father has this son because he's his seed. Zaro relates to the father. Bino relates to the son. When we say Zaro, it's like being part of the father. He's part of him. Comes from him. So for this reason, on one hand, Rav Man writes there that Ben, based on the Rishonim, that Ben doesn't include Bnei Banim, but Zaro does. On the other hand, Ben is mashma apostle, and Zaro is mashma only kosher, ayin sham in the Sefer. Why? What's the hezber? The explanation is because Zera is misyaches to the father, saying that he's part of the father, he's like the father himself. So if he's part of the father, then that's Zaro, the Zera Zaro, because it all comes from the father. Since it comes from the father, they all have that father's, the grandfather's DNA, so they all are miyuchas to him, they all relate to him. Ma'ashen Kain Ben is not the Ben HaBen. If you're talking about the Zera means that you're part of the father, relates to the father, so the grandson is also, the great-grandson is also. Zoichit. But if you talk about Beno, Ben HaBen isn't Ben. That relates to the son, but the grandson is not the son. Umitzat Sheni, if there's a separation between them, that the father is a kosher and the son is a puzzle, we lack the Hagdaras Haben Kechelek Me'av. He's no longer part of the father because he's different. The father is Dachak kosher and the Ben is a puzzle. He's not part of the father. He's not included in his seed. It has nothing to do with the son. It could be someone's son, even if you're different. Ayin Sham in the Tilul David, Eben Ezer, Simon Beis. Very few people learn these svarim, but they're just about the most amazing that have come out of this door. And people are afraid to learn very, very long simanim with small Rashi script and a lot of sources. But it's kedai, very kedai. Al kol panim, in my shiur, B'siyata D'Shmaya, the great help of Hashem, I try to bring it to the public in a language they can understand, and that is my small truma, my small donation to the Hagdalas HaTorah v'Ha'adara. Kol panim, back to our issue. If this is true, we have a mummer who's mufka me'abris of the father. He's precluded from his father's bris. He's precluded from his father's bris. He's not Zaro. In this bechin of Zaro, he's not Zaro. He's not like the father. No less than a father who's kosher and a ben is puzzle. They're not one anymore. So when this son becomes a mummer, he goes off. He's not part of his father anymore. And that's why this Heilige Rabbeinu Meshulam, he says that this mummer isn't called Zaro. Muchlaf lo yikri Zaro. Why is he not called a Zaro? Because Zaro, he writes at the end, is Miyuchas Acharav. Because what defines somebody as Zaro? That you relate to that person. But this mummer stops being related to his father because he's so different. His father is a good yid. He davens 3 times a day with a minyan. He learns every morning before work 2 hours. He learns after work for 3 hours. Weekends, Yari Shemayim, Yitztaka. It's a good yid. And his son goes to church on Sunday, Rahman al-Itzlan. And he has Easter eggs, Easter bunnies. He has a Christmas tree, Rahman al-Itzlan. He's not miyuchas to his father anymore. That breaks off the yichus, that breaks off the relationship between them. And that makes him not Zaro anymore. What makes him lav Zare? What makes him not Zaro? Because he's not miyuchas. Because by being different, he cut off the relationship. He cut off that yachas. And maybe he's not considered Zaro anymore. He's not the same. And now we understand this Rabbeinu Meshulam in the name of, what was quoted by the Rosh. We move on to the tour in Yoredeya. Sof Siman Reish Samach Vav. She Yisrael Shehem Yirdaso La'avodas Kochavim. Ayid became a goy. Was geboren a goy, Rahman al-Itzlan. he converts to Christianity. Comes a Jew boo. What do they call him? Rahmana litzlan. Jewish and a Buddhist. Shem Yishma. Not only is such a person a terrible Jew, he's also a terrible Buddhist. Not that I'm any bucky in Buddhism, but you know what I mean? You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have one God and lots of gods, or whatever they believe in or don't believe in. Akopanim, Zaktatur, is not a shir on comparative religions. It's not my expertise. My expertise is sports trivia from the 1980s. Anyway, joking. Yisrael Shemer Dasa Avodas Kochavim, and he's married to a good Yiddish Meidel. And they have a son. This good Yiddish Meidel is married, Rahmana litzlan, to this person who's a mummer. Zaktatur, you do bris milah to this child on Shabbos. And we don't assume that he's going to go Latar B'Surah, he's going to go OTD, off the derech, because he has a Yiddish mama. And the Yiddish mama will hit him, she'll watch him. Beis Yosef writes there that the makor of the Torah is from the Yitter. But the Beis Yosef writes, V'li nere, da'afilu nasui mumeres, nami molim b'Shabbos, haben, hanolad mehem. Even if he's married to a mumeres, this can get the Yiddish Meidel. She's also a mumeres. She sits next to him in the church. Rahmana litzlan. You also circumcise the kid on Shabbos, on the 8th day. Why? Shem chayavim b'chol ha-mitzvahs. You're still chayav in mitzvahs. Mummer shmummer. You're still chayav in mitzvahs. The Yisraelis to nakat ha-yitter. Why did the Yitter say Dafka the mummer is married to Yisraelis? Why not say even if he's married to a mumeris? Afshir the lo fuke mumeris el fuke nachris. It's coming to exclude not that he's married to a mumeris. Marriage is zel b'halacha, same halacha. But if he's married to a nachris, it's excluding that. If the mummer, if this guy, this Jewish apostate, this messianistic Jew, is married to a girl named Christina, who's a nachris, then you don't circumcise the kid on Shabbos. That's the Chorah Pshita, the kid's not Jewish. I'll go upon, and that's what the Beis Yosef says. But a mumeres, you circumcise the kid on Shabbos. In the Shulchan Aruch, in Sif Yud Beis, he saws him and he writes, "V'nolad lo ben mi Yisraelis." He doesn't talk about what happens if she's a mumeres, just Yisraelis. You do the bris milah on Shabbos. The Taz, Sif Kat and Tes, copies the Lashon of the Torah. That since his mother is a Yisraelis, we don't assume he's going to go Latar B'Surah. And he was machriach from this, that even if his mother, that if his mother is a mumeres, you don't circumcise him on Shabbos. Ataz. The mother's a mumeres, you don't do the bris milah on Shabbos. Shach, Sif Kat and Tes Zayin, brings what the Beis Yosef said, that even if she's a mumeres, you do it on Shabbos. And he writes, V'lo mashma liyachi. It's not mashma to me like this. And he blibes there with the tzarachiyun. So we have to understand what the pshat is. How can all these sources say that if the mother is a mumeres, you don't circumcise the kid on Shabbos? But the kid is Jewish, like the Beis Yosef says. Shem chayavim b'chol ha-mitzvahs. If they're chayav in all the mitzvahs, Why not do the bris on Shabbos? So the mother's a mumeres. Beseder, we're giving her no medals. You want a medal or a monument, we used to say when we were kids. We give her neither. Sof kol sof, is the kid's Jewish. His mother's Jewish, his mother's Jewish, his mother's Jewish. So based on what we said, we can explain as follows. That if we assume that he's going to be Yotzei L'Tar B'Surah, as we do if both of his parents are Mummer, so even though now he's a Katan, he's not a Mummer, since when he gets older he will be, already now he's Nifka Me'abris. He's not considered a Ben Bris. So it's not totally in the Averis that he was over. The Metzias of Azivas Habris, when his father and his mother are Mumrim, Kvar Me'achshav, he already has this Metzias of being Ozev the Bris. I'm saying, look at the stats. How's this kid going to grow up, right? So you're right, he's chayiv and all the mitzvahs. He has to keep Shabbos. He has to put on tefillin. He has to go to mikvah on Erev Yom Kippur. He got to do all the mitzvahs. And you have to do bris milah on him. But not to be Deicha Shabbos. Why not? Zok the Gemara in Yevamis, Sam with Beis, that Shabbos is Deicha Milah, because Gedoyla Milah shenichrusu aleh yud gimel brisos. It doesn't say there are 13 brisos on it. Nichrusu aleha, which means that somebody who's nichnas lebris is nichnas to 13 brisos. That's his Deicha Shabbos. His knisa lebris, his entering into the covenant, is what's Deicha Shabbos. Somebody who's not nichnas lebris, his bris is not Deicha Shabbos. It doesn't go into the 13 brisos. So you're right. You have a mitzvah bris milah, you got to do it during the week. But to be Deicha Shabbos that both of his parents are mumrim, he's not nichnas lebris. He's not nichnas lebris. No milan Shabbos. So that explains the pashtus of the Tur, the Shach, and the Taz. Okay, b'siyata d'shmaya, we learned some big yisodos, and we have a lot more to do, my sweet friends. This can be a many segmented shir. But we will conclude for now, tefasta meruba lo tefasta, and we'll give ourselves a bracha, that we should be zoche, lilmod u'lelamed, lishmor v'lasos, u'lekayim. It's called Divrei Salmon Torasa v'Ahava. Amen v'Amen. Shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved friend.